The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered was not something on my bingo card for 2025, and I definitely did not expect Microsoft to shadow drop it out of nowhere.
I would never have guessed.
Oblivion is still janky and buggy, but I genuinely believe that even 18 years later, it holds up as an excellent RPG. Honestly, after playing some more modern AAA RPGs, I think I've come to appreciate what Oblivion offers even more.
Wonderful! Time for a celebration! Cheese for everyone!
All of Oblivion's game assets have been remade, or at least drastically improved. Oblivion Remastered is a pretty awesome remaster, and honestly with so much rebuilt, this feels more like a remake.
Oh, wow.
So Oblivion starts like every other Saturday morning, waking up in a prison with no memory of how you ended up here. You get to build your own custom character from 10 different races, and I've got to admit, I was impressed with the new character models, especially compared with the original 2006 game. I'm playing a Dark Elf, just to relive my original character. You'll also be able to make some RPG choices, like choosing your own birth sign for little stat bonuses, and your starting class. You can even make your own completely custom class and name it. So you could be, say, a mage, healer, fighter, or fart smeller.
Amazing. Truly.
And the story begins with the Emperor fleeing from some assassins and wanting to access a secret passage from within your prison cell. What a coincidence.
You are the one from my dreams.
The Emperor gets himself killed just after asking you to find his lost heir and stop Dagon, some big demon who wants to invade the continent of Tamriel.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Sounds pretty important, and I should probably get to work on saving the world immediately.
You must get the amulet to Joffrey. Take no chances, but proceed to Wayne Priory immediately. Got it?
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, once I got out of here, demon invasions and saving the world might have slipped my mind, because I proceeded to spend the next 30 hours getting addicted to side quests, exploring the world, and skooma. Oblivion is fully open world. In my last review, I was praising Avowed's take on open world, but not having those copy-paste objectives across the map. Oblivion is even better than that. I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want and go wherever I want.
Whatever, I do what I want.
One of my favourite things to do in Oblivion is to go to the arena. This is where you work your way up the ranks and fight to the death for fame and fortune, gladiator style.
Welcome to the arena, you filthy pit dog.
Love the updated attention to detail with all the fresh blood on the floors and walls from recent fights, and there's little updates to the combat animations. It didn't take long for my success in the arena to reach the ears of the citizens of the Imperial City, and I got my first fan.
Wow, you're the Grand Champion. Can I follow you around? I won't get in the way. Hey!
You see, in Oblivion you have the agency or power to end anyone's existence and remove them from the game. Well, with the exception of some major story characters that can't die. But it was murdering this little pipsqueak of a fan that got me my first invitation to one of Oblivion's guilds, the Dark Brotherhood. Their dark messenger woke me from my sleep to personally invite me to their gang of hired murderers and assassins.
You sleep rather soundly for a murderer. That's good.
Oblivion has 4 major guilds, well 5 if you count the arena as well, the Mages, Fighters, Thieves Guild, and the Dark Brotherhood. You can join all of these guilds, progress their guild stories through side quests, and work your way up the ranks of each guild. You'll start out doing menial tasks, and as you progress, you play a larger role in the guilds, and the stories get really good.
Your role within the guild becomes ever more essential.
Hands down, my favourite guild would have to be the Dark Brotherhood. You'll be given targets to assassinate, and you can get really creative, killing targets certain ways for bonuses, like poisoning food, setting up death traps, or that time I turned a house party into a game of Cluedo.
2 of us have been murdered. One of us is a killer, but who?
And I love that you can say some pretty edgy dark stuff just before you murder them. There was one hit where I had to get a mother and all of her children. I got to the last child, and just before I killed him, I had the choice to tell him his mother bled like a pig. Pretty freaking dark.
No! What have you done to her? I'll kill you! Ah!
And this guy gets enraged and tries to fight me. Thing is, there's a guard nearby. He sees this guy attacking me, and the guard kills him. Contract complete. But holy crap, this stuff is dark, but excellent.
Excellent.
Tell you what would also be excellent, if you considered subbing to Peter Bytes or liking the video for more content like this. Cover lots of RPGs, you might like my Final Fantasy series where I'm replaying them all and ranking them against each other as I go. Thank you.
I love it myself.
So Dark Brotherhood was my personal favourite. You just know an order full of evil people are going to try and backstab each other. You know it's going to get interesting. But I really enjoyed playing through all the guild's questlines. One frustrating thing I forgot about was trying to find specific non-player characters to progress the quests. Sometimes these guys and girls would be out for food and living their daily routines, and it would take me a little time to find them. In the Fighters Guild, we'd often work together to fight off goblins, ogres and trolls, while competing with our rivals, the Blackwater Company.
Show me what you've got.
The Thieves Guild was unique. You get to access fences to sell off your stolen goods. It's all about sneaking around and stealing stuff. Eventually grand heists like robbing an Elder Scroll from the Imperial Palace.
Capital.
With the Mages Guild, you deal with the undead, vampires and necromancers. They're often in caves.
What? Necromancers at the cave?
Speaking of vampires, I managed to get bit by some. And then later that night, it turned out I contracted vampirism and was becoming a vampire. Sounds really cool, you even get lots of little perks and stat boosts for becoming a vampire, but there was one big side effect. I would burn alive in sunlight.
Are you not feeling well?
Quite the side effect. You can temporarily get around this by drinking the fresh blood of sleeping victims at night. This wasn't ideal because I'd have to stop what I'm doing to find new victims for fresh blood every few days.
You won't get any of my blood. Get away from me.
So I sought a cure for my vampirism. And I discovered it would be a ton of work, so I ended up just deciding to stay as a vampire. Oblivion has lots of little awkward systems and things like this. I think it's amazing you can become a vampire, but I kinda wish it was a bit easier to cure vampirism.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Once I complete the arena and got all the guild questlines, I returned to the main story, and this kind of progressed the world forward, because a gigantic demonic portal opens nearby a town, unleashing demons that completely delete that town. Like a living world, that town that I had been questing in was now gone. These are Oblivion gates, and it becomes your duty to enter these gateways into the hellscape realm of Oblivion, where you'll have to climb maze-like towers and activate a sigil stone to destroy the gateway and halt the invasion. So yeah, Oblivion Gates.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
At first it's a really cool experience, but a bit later into the story, you're tasked with closing about 10 Oblivion Gates back to back. You go through the motions, it gets really tedious and frustrating navigating their maze-like layouts. While I do like Oblivion's main story, those Oblivion Gates do get a bit repetitive. I think I like a lot of the guild questlines more than parts of the main story.
We must kill whatever comes out of that gate.
So I went around, did some side content, leveled up a bit and got some new spells and equipment. When it comes to magic, Oblivion has tons of different spells available, from summoning skeletal minions, healing spells, turning invisible, to projectiles. You can even create your own custom spells, like the Peter Bytes Blast.
What is it? Oh, what did I ever do to you?
Throughout most of the game, I try to focus on destruction magic, and I have several different fire-based spells, but to be honest, they all look identical. There wasn't a huge difference in their animations. And leveling up in Oblivion can be a bit wacky. You see, everything scales to your level. I'm not a huge fan of level scaling in RPGs, but I understand that in a true open world game where you can go anywhere, you're probably gonna need some form of level scaling. That said, I replayed through the whole game and I didn't really have any problems with the remastered version of scaling. It really felt like I was progressing, getting stronger and taking on bigger, tougher enemies as the hours flew by. And this leads into the last chunk of content, the Shivering Isles. which was originally introduced to the game as DLC, and is now integrated into this Oblivion Remaster.
The Grey March is coming, and you're going to stop it.
I only played through Shivering Isles once a long time ago, and a lot of the DLC has faded from my mind, and it was genuinely awesome getting to re-experience the Shivering Isles. It's set in quite a unique location, a different part of the realm of Oblivion. This whole place is completely mad and run by a lunatic Daedric prince, Sheogorath.
The Isles! A wonderful place! Except when it's horrible.
Overall, brilliant. I consider this to be an expansion pack, and Shivering Isles might be in my top 10 expansions of all time. There's just something about Oblivion as a whole. It feels good, I like its themes, it's got just the right amount of humour that doesn't take away from the seriousness.
Isn't that a hoot? I love it myself.
Okay, time to talk about my journey to 100% with the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Okay, so it's an easy one to 100% and get all of those achievements. It's just time consuming. You'll need to complete all guild quest lines, the Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, Thieves Guild, and the Dark Brotherhood, as well as the Arena questline. I spoke all about these earlier. For 100% you'll also need to complete the main story and Shivering Isles expansion questline. There's technically only one achievement that's missable, and that's during the Shivering Isles questline. You'll need to make a decision that changes the story, but you can easily load an earlier save and make a different decision in the story to get both achievements. It took me just over 50 hours to 100% Oblivion, then I went back to play some more because it is brilliant. Overall, I'd recommend going for 100% with Oblivion Remastered. It's very fun and it makes sure you experience all the factions and guild questlines, which are awesome.
Kill him, and your initiation into the Dark Brotherhood will be complete.
Alright, time to rank the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered and see how many petabytes it turned. I really enjoyed working through all the guild questlines, and you're free to go wherever you want. Dark Brotherhood guild questline was my personal favourite bit. You'll also get the Shivering Isles expansion pack, which is really good as well. £50 is quite a lot for a remaster, but I think it's worth the asking price. Bethesda have gone to town with the remaster. They've remade or drastically improved all character models and textures, and they've reworked little bits of the game like combat animations. They've remade or reworked nearly everything. It's been remade in an entirely new engine. I think this could be considered more of a remake than a remaster. I thought the main story was good. The only bit I didn't like was dealing with all those back-to-back Oblivion gates. It got a bit repetitive. Being an 18-year-old game and this being a remaster, it's a little awkward to rank, but I genuinely believe that even as an 18-year-old game, this still stands strong amongst other 2025 RPGs. And that's why I'm giving Oblivion Remastered a whopping 90 petabytes. It is excellent.
Excellent.
I might talk a bit more about Oblivion. I want to compare it with some more other modern RPGs like Starfield, Avowed, and Dragon Age Origins, so stay tuned for that. Alright, have a good one.